Alright folks, Puppy's World here once again. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down. I got the volume blasted on the Marantz SR7010, of course. Nah, I'm just kidding. The volume is actually coming now right out of the cheapest projector known to man. That is probably the best quality. Got it in the piano gloss look, of course, to match all the SVSs in the piano gloss. I'll go ahead and turn it down for a second though, and I can do it by remote too. As you can see, we got a little indicator up there on the left. But yeah, I'm showing you some stuff real quick that is indicating, you know, this is a budget cinema setup right here. Got the projector not mounted, of course, just sitting on the couch. Yeah, pretty big screen. There's no fixed frame or nothing. I'll add that later. And you know, it's got a really crappy wall here, and it's being displayed pretty damn good. Let me go out ahead and hit the light for a second. You can see the picture is pretty damn good right up there on the wall. We're not in any, you know, special visual effects scene or nothing, but just wait. I will have some interesting things soon to come to be displayed by this projector. However, let me hit the lights real quick for you again, as I want to show you. I got an unboxing. Never done an unboxing before, so I'm going to show you what's in store. We have the Marantz NR1606. What is now out by Marantz, you cannot get the NR1606 necessarily directly from Marantz. This is a purchase of mine, obviously, to save a few dollars. You can still get it on Amazon, of course, as I got it on Amazon. And you're going to save a few bucks getting the 1606 because the 1607 is out now. However, they have not changed much. Both are HDCP 2.2, you know, pass-through and upscale capable for 4K video, and both have an audio return channel, so you can, you know, operate your 4K TV right there out of the ARC channel right there. You know, the difference between the 7010 and the 1606, so the slimline ones versus the well, you know, regular line of things, is well, zoning and monitor outs. Let me just show you back here real quick. Go ahead and see this. I got it, you know, of course, in the audio return channel right now. We've got a monitor too that I always use for projection versus 4K television type stuff. Then we have an actual 4K pass through to zone 2, which I love to do, you know, running through the wall. So makes it pretty interesting. Let's get on with the unboxing real quick. Just walk on over here and let's see what this guy comes with. Of course, I've opened him up before, but since this is a second purchase of mine for an NR1606, so I knew what to expect. Let's see how these guys are packed. Mind you, I've already unpacked a lot of the stuff in it, so we're just basically looking at what it comes with. But this is basically what you're going to get if you order a slimline receiver from Marantz. Of course, obviously, it comes in this anti-static proof, you know, plastic protection bag, so that, you know, that's good. But look what we got. We got an Odyssey microphone. It doesn't have the reference 32 style calibration as the SR series model line has. There's some discrepancy out there in terms of people saying that the 7011 is the only one with the multi-EQ XT32 calibration, but no, obviously 7010 multi-32. So that's not true. Let's get back to this real quick. You are going to get your calibration microphone, of course. You're going to get your microphone stand, fairly easy and simple to set up. Some folks have some trouble with it. If you're not familiar with Marantz products, you might have to look at this real quick. So we got this guy, and you know, he works out pretty well. They want you to do like 6 different scenarios of you know, calibrating it, where you would sit, a friend would sit, and then 4 other people. So it's calibrating it pretty damn good. But let's go ahead and, you know, look at this. It's, you know, just pretty self-explanatory what this is going to come with. It is, you know, Ziploc sealed, which is amazing when Marantz does that. So we got that. And then we got, of course, yeah, sure, another Ziploc bag. But this is unique. This is very unique with what Marantz comes with. They come with, of course, labels. For all of your cables And if you want speaker wire, of course, you got your FM AM antenna here. Plug right into the back. And, you know, this is pretty unique. They do their packaging pretty damn good. These aren't going to move around. I'm not saying you can throw this guy down your basement steps and he'll still be just fine. But, you know, if you take a look at the cardboard here, it's obviously 2-ply. It's extremely thick. I couldn't bend this guy if I, you know, well, of course if I wanted to, but, I mean, it's just extremely thick versus, like, other brands of AB receivers and whatnot. So, you know, we got good stuff there. They're even labeled front, top, you know. So when packaging them, you know, back up for a move or something, it's good to know where your stuff came from and be able to put it back. So I always recommend saving the boxes and all your styrofoam and all the inserts and all that. Remote came right here. I'm going to go ahead and get the remote for you real quick. Alright, don't mind the mess here, but yeah, Kitty's interested in some stuff real quick. But I'm going to show you real quickly. Yeah, we got, of course, an article from Sound and Vision here. Another Sound and Vision, but voila. Here is your remote. Pretty basic. It's an RC024S. Of course, it's got the R in there, too, because they give it with some of the SR models. But, yeah, 2 AA's, of course, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, sir, 2 AA's. This guy's pretty nice, though. He's got this brushed aluminum type of finish. This one's obviously been used, as I've taken the other one out and kept him in packaging, stored him away, so for later use and stuff. One thing that's cool and good about the Marantz equipment and remotes is, well, all universal. These can all be calibrated with your TV without actually typing in codes. Instead of going the old school way and typing in a bunch of codes and shit. These are really cool because you can just use them to do basically everything. And then, of course, your other zones, too. But, yeah, one of the cool things about this one, it's not backlit. What it does is if you emit any kind of light towards it, whether it be LED, incandescent, you know, fluorescent, halogen and whatnot, high-intensity discharge, xenon bulbs, anything like that, these buttons will glow in the dark. Let me go ahead and hit the light for you real quick. Bam. And, so if, you know, turn the lights off, hit them off at night, you know, they glow. It starts to kind of, I cannot really catch it in this camera for some reason with this phone, but they are glowing for me kind of bright green. I don't know why you can't see this with the phone, but yeah, they do glow. So that's what's cool. But, as I said before, one of the coolest things, they are all universal, as one would expect, of course. So if I want to go ahead and power my 7010 with this remote, as opposed to the actual 7010 remote, you got your 7010. It's this guy's backlit with a little button right there, of course. So boom, hit that. Oh, iridescent type feel there. But yeah, the cool thing, I want to turn on the SR 7010 with this guy. Bam. Of course, there you go. And then coolest thing about Marantz, I'll get back to the unboxing in a second, but really cool thing about the Marantz guys is all up convert pass through capable, and then you know, turn them off, still the same thing. The video and audio will pass through them just as they would any other device with them turned off. They have to be plugged in, so I'm lucky for a guy like myself to have something like this because I kind of have to keep it powered on. If you were to power that off, though, this guy would not do that because it acts like it's unplugged completely. So that's a cool feature, guys. Love that about the Marantz stuff as opposed to like the Pioneer equipment. So I'll get going here a little bit. You know, obviously this is where the that remote came from. But let's see what we got. So these are pretty cool. You know, you're able to like label basically everything, and it comes with a diagram. I'll open this guy up for you. Kind of difficult one-handed, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe not. So here we go. Just take a peek at this. It obviously gives you like everything you need for a 7.2 or a 5.1. So to label all your stuff. You know, it's just pretty nice to be able to do that. I've never done it myself, but for a AB receiver to come with all that, it's just a plus. And then you go further into it, and you got your, you know, registration package and all that. The instruction manual is, I believe, somewhere hidden, so you can do a research onto what the instruction manual comes with, but they're not that, you know, wonderful. Nothing like the Apple UDP 203. Okay, just looking at some things here. We got our back. Of course, they come with 2 high gain antennas. They've got their little protecting little clips there, so that's really nice. There's a lot of features about these guys that are different from most AV receivers that I'd love to talk about, but as I said, this is an unboxing video basically of the NR1606, so we'll see what we got. I'll bring them on out for you, of course, not holding a phone in my hand though, and then we'll see what we look like. Alright, so I have taken this bad boy out of the box. Of course, he is DTS X ready with this line. The NR1607, you're probably just going to be DTS X capable, not ready. Only thing that's indicating is that you've got to do a small firmware upgrade and you are good to go. So after that, this guy can run Atmos and DTS X no problem. He is a 7.1. For a slimline receiver like this, to weigh, though, just about 25 pounds is unbelievable. He is unprecedented for something this great. So I love him. I'm very happy with my other one. I'll have no problems with this one. Let me just give you a quick look here at what we're going on. Same style of advertisement like the 7010. 7.2 channels, 100 watts each, RMS. So we're talking good powering there. Does all the same things the 7010 will do, except a Phono preamplifier on board. So let's take a quick peek at the back of this bad boy, and I'm gonna have to conclude things in a minute here. Alright, we got a DC trigger out there, we got a network on in, of course it's Wi-Fi capable on both frequencies, your 2.4 and your 5.8. So that's a plus. We got of course we got digital coax we got, and of course we've got an optical. That's very popular, but that is phasing out. One of the things I'm really glad it's got is obviously a second monitor out analog-wise, and then video in that's assignable analog-wise too. A lot of receivers are phasing that out, as things like the Oppo UDP 203 don't even offer an analog video output anymore. We got Marantz's classic binding posts here. Very, very nice in my opinion. They are not as good as, say, Emotiva's or maybe Parasound. However, they're in a different line of equipment in my opinion. So this guy runs at about $500, I believe. Pick this guy up now because this, the 1607 is out for about $350, $400. Removable IEC, of course. That is wonderful. And we've got, like you said, the audio return channel in your monitor out, 4K, HDCP 2.2, of course. We got 7 HDMI inputs, which is nice. An IR blaster, an infrared blaster. With a flasher there. We got cables sat like crazy. Look at that, DVD and CD, analog-wise. We got a remote control in and out there. AM/FM antenna. We got pre-outs, which is amazing. No, it can't do anything like 11.2 channel processing like the 7010 and 7011 can if you add an external preamp to it. External power amp, I'm sorry. But do 2 subwoofers out of a slimline like this, that's amazing. And then of course to do a second monitor out. Guys, I got a Parasound Z Pre 2 Zone preamplifier. I've shown you him before. He works amazing with this type of deal because there are actually 4 video analog, inputs for that type of deal. So you can run, 4 different displays in 4 different rooms, analog-wise, and of course convert it to HDMI if you need with another device. Like we said before, a bunch of cable SATs. Look at that. We got a component section there, not just composite anymore now. We're talking still component. We got DVD component, we got monitor, component, video out again. So we got a lot of options here, folks. And then of course your regular old binding post with surround backs. You can actually, one of the best things about Marantz's, Marantz, is that you're not subject to just using the surround back ports for bi-amping and bi-wiring. Let me take you over here quick. We're pretty much done with the NR1606, and it's more or less time for a review of him next. So I'll do that, guys, a full-on, hands-on comparison review to some other Marantz equipment, and then some other equipment that stands up, basically price line comparable to him, and see how this guy performs. As I did say before, no Phono preamplifier on board, as the SR model line does. But however, I chose to go with a Audio-Technica AT-LP60 in black with the BK hence. Dust cover, comes factory and all that, already installed though. Got a bunch of just about the crappiest cartridge you're gonna get in a Phono turntable today. So that but I went with this guy for one reason and one reason only: the switch on the back of him. Yes, the 120 offers the same thing. He's no USB, he's no digital optical or anything audio out. He's regular, RCA's out. Of course, connected to the back. However, the switch on the back that can go line level or phono, that denotes or makes no need for a phono preamplifier, because you can just go line level instead of phono. You can switch between two. So that's amazing. But let me get over here real quick, and I'm going to show you, as I was talking before about the requirement on most AV receivers. Let me pop some light on here quick though. All right, we got light going on real here. Yep, getting brighter as we go. But okay, as I said before, most AV receivers are going to be limited to your surround back ports on a 7.1. 5.1 you cannot buy amp, of course, unless you're going to completely delete the surrounds, but that's not possible on anything I know of. So on your traditional AV receivers, you're going to require to use the surround back ports for any bi-amping, bi-wiring, huh? Well, good thing about Marantz, guys, is you can actually choose in the on-screen display and graphical user interface which ports you're going to use. And if you don't believe me, I can illustrate that by showing you that I've got a pair of KEF speakers right here that are completely, all AudioQuest wires, of course, guys, but are completely bi-amped, bi-wired right now with the active crossover on in there. What I did was, in this case, use the surround backs, because I am still able to use then all my other speaker posts, speaker binding posts, and so that is a good feature. However, in the near future here, I'm going to use my heights, because I'm not using heights right now, so I'm going to use my heights as my surround backs. I'm sorry, not as my surround backs, as my bi-ampable channels. So I'll just show you here quickly that you can mess with all of that on the graphical user interface on these guys. Not just the 7010 either. You can go into the NR1606, the 7010, 7011, 6011, 6010, 5010, 5011, all of them, folks. So let me just show you here real quickly. I'm just going to hit setup, and I'm going to go into speakers. That's where you're going if you're doing this. I've done a whole video on how to set these guys up before, and different amp assignment features and all that. But, so your speaker configuration real quick. As you see there, it'll kind of show you what you're doing there. Mind you, set your things to small, guys, if you've got a subwoofer. There's very relevant reasons for that. The reason is, your low frequency effect you want cut off at about 80 hertz. Doing that will allow you to, of course, get a proper signal sent to the speakers. However, I like a lot of bass roll off on my speakers, especially a bookshelf speaker like this. Hence the 80 hertz roll off. And then of course, yes, I have added, well, what do you think? An SVS subwoofer to this setup here, which is kind of nice. And I've got a really, a temporary wire setup right here with an AudioQuest sub 1 wire running just directly to my, yep, you got it. It's a 2000 this time from SVS. So, works out perfectly, guys. No problem with that. Yes, I am kind of going nuts with like a vodka cable here, as I have in my other setups before. But there's a reason. So, talk about that at some other point. But there are a lot of different things that these guys can do that basically virtually other receivers can't do, other brands cannot do. One of the better things also is, of course, you got your dialogue enhancement. That's on most receivers. Now, you got your pure direct. I'm going to back on out of this setup real quick. I'm going to back out of it. But you've got your pure direct buttons you're able to hit, which actually completely goes into, see, different on-screen display than the regular changing of modes. Because if I were to go into movie here, as you can see, yep, got a whole display. This guy is upgraded with the Oro 3D, as the slimline receivers from Marantz are not capable of doing that. Of course, you can start your volume on at a certain level and at a certain input. Let's see, there's some cool things about, you can go pure direct, which completely shuts off the receiver's capability of doing anything other than the exact signal you are getting. So I can like close this guy up, and he is basically turned off other than passing through, but with extreme surround sound going on. But exactly, purely, no EQ going on in this guy whatsoever when you got that going. Okay, the dynamic EQ is pretty cool. It asks you to run Odyssey to be able to use that, as I will calibrate him on camera for you guys, on screen. So, got your dynamic volume. Asks us to run Odyssey again, of course. But we'll do that, and we'll show you guys what some of these things can do. One other trick or feature is that they've got active, when you connect these guys to the internet, they'll actually send Marantz user information about how you're using it. But in terms of, I'm just doing a run through here quick of the base this, think of this as the 7011 right now, because the 7011 is virtually no different, guys. Check out my review of the 7011. As I'm unable, unfortunately, to get the 7011 at this time. We'll see when that can happen, but we've got to wait for the time being. But I'm just running through some things that differentiate the Marantz receivers, basically the higher end line, versus the different brands and of AV receivers. And there's a few things. Let me just talk about that quick before I end this video. And it's mainly we got like audio. Odyssey DSX. It's not available right now because I haven't calibrated my stuff yet. Speakers A and B in both. Your HDMI out, you can change, dim the screen, of course. You got your status button. That's extremely cool. I have not seen a lot of receivers that have a status button like this. You can hit status, and it'll show you your signal, your frequency sine wave, format, your offset. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, and with the remote, you can go ahead. I love doing this, guys. When I'm watching something, I can just hit info, right? Info, and it'll show us exactly our source, sound, signal, input signal, and active speakers. You got your economy. I'll turn the eco mode off or on auto, and it actually tells you how much energy use you're using. Go ahead and keep them on. But these guys are just monstrous. I have no complaints on the Marantz receivers, and guys, believe me, I have owned a ton of AV receivers in the past, probably like 30 in my life, and these being probably the 5th line of Marantz I have ever owned. So don't think I'm brand new to Marantz here, and I'm just loving a brand new receiver I got, because I could be biased in some way. But let me continue on here. You got your regular on headphones jack. I love to see a larger one as opposed to a 3.5 millimeter. You've got a 1 amp at 5 volts USB here. That's not too powerful, so it won't do like the iPads necessarily or charge them. However, you've got to go in the back for something like that. But let's take a look at the NR1606 compared to this guy real quick, because you've all seen the 7010 and 7011s. Let me just show you this. So, same thing, but we've got on the front the same thing the 7010 does, which is amazing. An aux 1 HDMI with the 4K pass-through right there. 125 watts in the 7010 versus 100 watts in the 1606 here. There's not many differences. He has tired himself out with his chewing device here. So that's why we're going to conclude our video here soon, guys. Got a lot of stuff in store for you. I got a review of actually universal remote. I'll be doing some Blu-rays and then some 4K Blu-rays and stuff, whatnot. So we'll see how those work. But yeah, I got a review, full-on review coming of the Logitech Elite remote touchscreen. He's very nice. I recommend him. Recommend picking him up. So got that coming. I have got a full-on theater build and install coming. Not in this room exactly. I've also got a video coming where I install a screen in here, in-ceiling speakers versus Dolby up-firing speakers. And then we're going to do some SVS elevation speakers in here at some point and run a DTS X setup with 2 subs. I'll show you that. I'll show you how my speakers will change soon, shortly. And then we'll go from there, guys. We got a lot to do here. We got to clean up our wiring here, so I'll do a video on that. I actually did a video illustrating how I built this up real quickly in a matter of like 5 minutes. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to come soon, guys. Please subscribe if you like this video, comment below, and yeah, there is a lot more in the works, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.